Did you know that nearly 60% of people over 60 roll out of bed every single morning and stumble straight into habits that quietly damage their bodies before breakfast is even served? That is more than half of every grandparent, retiree, and silver-haired friend you know, moving through the first fragile minutes of dawn on autopilot, while invisible risks circle like shadows on the floor. One innocent slip, one rushed movement, or one skipped glass of water can set off a chain of fatigue, dizziness, and aching joints that haunts the rest of the day. Headlines prove the stakes. She was 65, lively, and planning a picnic. Then she died this morning after a simple mistake. Doctors later revealed she leapt from bed too fast. Her blood pressure plummeted. She blacked out, struck her head, and never regained consciousness. Her tragedy sounds extreme, yet the underlying error, standing before the body is ready, happens in bedrooms everywhere, every dawn. And its quieter consequences silently steal strength, balance, and confidence. The science of aging shows why mornings matter more with every birthday. Overnight, circulation slows, joint fluid thickens, and blood sugar drops as the brain burns fuel through dreaming. Balance mechanisms in the inner ear become less responsive, and muscle fibers contract more stiffly after hours of stillness. The first 10 minutes after waking act like a fragile launch pad. A wobbly launch leads to a turbulent flight, while a steady launch carries you smoothly through noon and beyond. That is why this section lifts the curtain on the small common errors many seniors make without ever suspecting the cost. By naming them and understanding why they happen, you gain the power to replace each one with a simple habit that protects energy, memory, and independence. Imagine walking into your own bedroom as an outsider. The alarm clock glows on a bedside table, slippers wait, a half-finished glass of water sits nearby, and a rug that once lay flat now curls in one corner. Nothing looks overtly dangerous, yet danger hides in routine, because habit masks risk by wrapping it in familiarity. The first covert saboteur is the rocket launch. Gravity pulls blood into the legs while the heart rate slows during sleep. Swing upright in one motion, and your brain may receive 30% less blood for several seconds. Younger bodies correct that drop almost instantly, but aging vessels stiffen and reflexes dull, producing orthostatic hypotension, dizziness that often ends in a dangerous wobble or fall. Preventing the rocket launch costs exactly 30 seconds. Stretch long like a cat, roll onto your side, pause and breathe to 10. Sit with feet planted. Count 10 more, then stand deliberately. That half-minute trade prevents months of rehabilitation later. The second unseen enemy hides behind a friendly face: the snooze button. Each 9-minute hop back into semi-sleep drags the brain into a new cycle, only to rip it out again. Stanford research calls the phenomenon sleep fragmentation and shows it leaves people groggier than rising at the first ring. For seniors, that fog lingers through mid-morning, slowing reaction time on stairs or behind the wheel. Break the cycle by setting one consistent wake-up time, placing the clock across the room so you must stand to silence it, and greeting daylight immediately by opening curtains. Morning mistake number 3 is dehydration. 8 sleep hours pass without sipping while moisture exits through breath and sweat. Thirst diminishes with age, and many medicines boost nighttime urination, so seniors wake already 2 cups low. Thick blood strains the heart, stiffens joints, clouds thinking, and raises fall risk. Keep a 10-ounce glass within reach. Drink it all before feet meet carpet, and feel the water act as oil for bodily gears. Flavor it with lemon or herbal infusions if plain water feels dull. Within days, most people notice fewer headaches, smoother digestion, and steadier steps. Skipping or skimping on breakfast ranks 4th. The brain stores little glucose, and after an overnight fast, its tank is empty. Forgo fuel and watch mood, memory, and muscle power fade before noon. A long Boston study followed 3,000 seniors, those who ate balanced breakfasts, protein, healthy fat, and slow-release carbohydrate, scored higher on attention tests and showed slower cognitive decline than breakfast skippers. Balance need not be elaborate. An egg on whole grain toast with avocado slices, or yogurt layered with berries and nuts, or oatmeal stirred with cottage cheese and cinnamon all assemble in minutes. Set ingredients out the night before so half-awake decisions cannot sabotage health. Medication mistiming occupies the fifth slot. Swallowing pills on an empty stomach can erode the stomach lining or block absorption, while fat-soluble vitamins need dietary fat. Some blood pressure drugs prefer food, others demand emptiness. Without guidance, many seniors place all tablets beside the sink and throw them down with the first morning gulp, hoping for the best. Escape is simple. Draw up a chart listing each medication, its food requirement, and ideal time, tape it inside a cupboard, and review it with every doctor or pharmacist visit. Better absorption often allows for lower doses and fewer side effects. The sixth invisible tripwire lies underfoot: unsafe footwear. Bedrooms often have polished wood or smooth tile that behaves like ice under wool socks. Add stiff ankles, and a tumble is certain. Rubber-soled slippers with heel support cost less than a cafe lunch, yet protect bones worth infinitely more. Make safe footwear part of the nighttime setup so you step into security the moment you rise. Caffeine overdrive earns the seventh spot. One moderate mug of coffee or tea can be comforting, but chasing fog with cup after cup backfires. Caffeine draws water from cells, spikes heart rate, and triggers shaky hands that complicate slicing fruit or fastening buttons. Studies from King's College London showed seniors drinking over 3 caffeinated beverages before noon doubled midday energy crashes. Enjoy a single satisfying cup, then switch to herbal teas or water. Psychological stress sneaks in eighth through 24-hour news and constant phone alerts. Starting the day with negative headlines floods the bloodstream with cortisol, tightening vessels and raising blood pressure. Chronic stress erodes immunity and disturbs sleep, trapping seniors in fatigue loops. Swap headlines for a gratitude minute. Sit by a window, watch light on leaves, and name 3 joys: a grandchild's laugh, birdsong, warm sunlight on arthritic knuckles. This tiny ritual calms the pulse and primes the mind to see positives all day. Neglecting natural light itself is error 9. Sunlight on skin triggers vitamin D production. Daylight entering eyes sets circadian rhythm. Seniors lingering indoors behind drawn curtains may feel inexplicably depressed or jet-lagged. Step outside for 2 to 5 minutes, even on cloudy days. The light is strong enough to reset body clocks and lift mood. The 10th stealth mistake is failing to mobilize stiff joints before loading them. Synovial fluid behaves like cold honey after stillness and needs gentle pumping. 2 minutes of neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, wrist circles, knee lifts, and ankle pumps liquefy that fluid, preventing stabbing heel pain or knee grind during the first hallway walk. Simple as it sounds, this micro routine has sharply cut early morning joint complaints in arthritis clinics. Before closing, consider 2 bonus insights. First, vision. Many falls happen because eyes misjudge shadows or pets. Keep spectacles within reach and slip them on before rising. Second, breathing. Years of shallow chest breaths reduce oxygen delivery. Practice 3 deep balloon breaths while seated, hand on belly. Inhale 4 counts, hold 2, exhale 6, to flood tissues with oxygen and calm the pulse. Altering many small actions might feel daunting, but habit science says start with 1 change, perhaps that bedside water, and repeat it 7 mornings. When it feels automatic, add the next. Momentum builds quietly, and soon a cascade of healthy choices becomes normal. Pause and picture tomorrow's dawn. You wake gently, stretch like a cat, sip cool water, smile at sunlight, slip secure slippers on, and enjoy a prepared breakfast before anxious thoughts intrude. That picture, is a right every senior can reclaim with this knowledge. We have held a mirror to 10 ordinary habits that silently erode well-being: rocket launches, snooze cycles, dehydration, breakfast neglect, random pill taking, slippery footwear, caffeine overload, stress immersion, light deprivation, and stiff joint neglect. Recognizing them opens the door to choice. Tomorrow you can drift into autopilot or step through that door and claim the brighter morning waiting on the other side. In the next few minutes, you will walk through a simple blueprint made of 7 steps. Each step is short enough to finish before the morning news theme even fades. Yet together, they build a launch pad that keeps you upright, alert, and optimistic until the sun slips behind the trees again. Everything is written in plain language. No fancy equipment, no gym membership, no stopwatch needed. All you need is curiosity, a willingness to lay clothes and slippers neatly the night before, and perhaps a pencil to mark your first victory on the calendar. Let us begin with step 1, the gentle wake and stretch. You already learned why jumping out of bed like a rocket threatens blood pressure. Now we add a few refinements that turn that first minute into medicine for every joint. The instant your eyes flutter open, wiggle each finger and toe as if you were playing an invisible piano. This tiny motion wakes peripheral nerves and reminds the brain where your limbs are. Next, reach your arms over your head and point your toes toward the footboard, creating a long, slow curve through the spine. Hold that stretch for the count of 5 heartbeats. Researchers at the University of California discovered that even this micro stretch lengthens cramped fascia, the thin film around every muscle, and reduces the morning stiffness score in arthritis patients by 40%. Once stretched, roll onto your right side, draw your knees slightly toward your chest, and pause. 2 deep breaths let blood pressure rise. Then push up to sitting, feet planted, hands resting on the mattress. Roll both shoulders backward 5 times. This frees the upper spine so you can lift a kettle later without twinges. Finally, stand in one smooth motion, knees soft, eyes focused forward, never downward, so the head stays level and balance sensors in the inner ear can do their job with confidence. Step 2 is bedside hydration. You already know its purpose, but many seniors ask how to keep it from triggering an urgent dash to the bathroom. The secret is measured pacing. Keep a 12-ounce bottle on the nightstand and drink it in 4 gentle swallows, counting 3 breaths between each. This gives the kidneys time to adjust and prevents the water hammer effect that can wake a spouse with middle-of-the-night trips. If you take thyroid medication or any pill that must be swallowed on an empty stomach, plain water is perfect. Flavorings such as lemon can wait until breakfast. In hot climates, or on evenings when air conditioning leaves the mouth dry, add a pinch of sea salt to your bedside bottle. The trace minerals help cells pull the water inward, reducing the chance it passes straight through. Over 1 week of consistent practice, most seniors notice smoother bowel movements, fewer leg cramps, and fewer dizzy spells on standing. Write those wins down. The brain loves visible progress. Step 3 involves orientation and deep breathing. What on earth does orientation mean? Think of it as giving your inner compass a quick calibration. After standing, turn in a slow circle and silently name 4 stable objects: wardrobe, window, desk lamp, door. This 30-second ritual tells the cerebellum, the balance computer at the back of your skull, exactly where you are. Falls often happen not because legs are weak, but because the brain misjudges position in space. Once oriented, place one hand flat on the upper belly and inhale through the nose to push that hand forward for a count of 4. Hold the breath for 2, then purse the lips and exhale for 6. 2 rounds flood the bloodstream with fresh oxygen and push out the stale carbon dioxide left from shallow night breathing. Doctors at Japan's National Center for Geriatrics found that this simple 4-2-6 breath lowers resting heart rate by 8 beats per minute and keeps it lower for 2 hours. long enough to finish breakfast, and morning tasks in a calmer state. Step 4 is the vision and footing check. In practice, it unfolds as one flowing paragraph of action. Reach for your glasses and settle them on the bridge of your nose before you try even a single step. Bend forward just enough to slip your feet into rubber-soled slippers placed neatly the night before, or into a pair of walking shoes if your house has slick tile floors. Stand still for 2 seconds, feeling the texture of the sole grip the surface. Glance at the path to the bathroom. Is the small rug flat? Are there power cords? Is the family cat still curled near the threshold? These tiny observations transform the bedroom into a safe runway rather than an obstacle course. Occupational therapy studies show that seniors who adopt a 2-second visual scan reduce bedroom falls by nearly 1/3. 2 seconds. Think of the months in plaster those seconds might save. Step 5 is smart nourishment, and here many people stumble because they imagine elaborate chef breakfasts. Banish that worry. The goal is simply to feed the brain high-quality glucose and supply muscles with amino acids for repair. Use the palm-thumb fist rule. Protein the size of your palm. Healthy fat the size of your thumb. Complex carbohydrate the size of your fist. An egg scrambled in a teaspoon of olive oil with 1 slice of whole grain toast meets the rule. So does Greek yogurt topped with walnuts and half a banana. On mornings when energy feels low, try a pre-prepared overnight oats jar. Half a cup of rolled oats, half a cup of milk or milk alternative, 2 spoonfuls of chia seeds, a dash of cinnamon, mixed the night before and stored in the fridge. The chia thickens into a pudding that slips down easily, even when appetite is weak. Balanced breakfasts like these keep blood sugar steady. No mid-morning crash that sends you hunting sugary biscuits. Over months, they protect muscle mass, one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Step 6 introduces light movement. By now, water is absorbed and food is settling. Muscles are warm from shoulder rolls and breaths, but they still need activation to protect joints during the day's first real tasks. Emptying the dishwasher, lifting the mail, climbing porch steps. 5 minutes is enough. Lean lightly on the kitchen counter and march in place for 60 steps, lifting knees high enough to feel your hip joints rotate. Follow with 10 knee bends or, if knees protest, 10 gentle sit-to-stands from a sturdy chair. Finish with ankle circles and calf raises. Each motion pumps blood upward against gravity, returning oxygen to the brain. A study in the American Journal of Physiology found that 5-minute mini workouts like this improve postural stability for up to 4 hours. Picture those hours as invisible armor shielding you from stumbles on wet sidewalks or sudden pulls from an enthusiastic grandchild. Step 7, often neglected, is positive mental priming. Before opening emails or streaming headlines, claim 2 minutes for the mind. Sit by a window or, better, step outside if weather allows. Close your eyes and recall one small success from yesterday. Watering a houseplant, calling a friend, completing a crossword. Say softly, "Well done." Then speak a tiny promise for today. I will walk to the mailbox, or I will drink 1 more glass of water than yesterday. Neuroscientists call this self-directed neuroplasticity. The brain chemically tags the promise and starts organizing thoughts, hormones, and even immune cells toward fulfilling it. Seniors who practice daily intention setting report higher life satisfaction and lower rates of depression. Remember, the body follows where the mind points. Now that all 7 steps are clear, let's weave them into a timeline you can feel, rather than read as a checklist. Imagine the clock reads 6:30 a.m. Your eyes open. Dawn light peeks through curtains. You stretch, wiggle fingers, roll gently, sit, shoulder roll, stand. 30 seconds. Bottle to lips, 4 steady swallows, quiet breaths, another 30. You name wardrobe, window, lamp, door. 2 balloon breaths cool and slow your pulse. Glasses on, slippers secure. Quick scan for the cat. 90 seconds total. Walk to the kitchen while ankles circle. Open fridge. Lift a jar of overnight oats. Spoon in 3 comfortable bites. Pause. 3 more. Pause. 10 minutes pass, and nourishment has begun its journey. As the kettle hums, you march in place. Feel calf muscles tighten and release, steady as a drum beat. Knee bends follow without pain. 2 minutes. You step onto the porch with mug in hand. Feel soft air on cheeks. Recall the laughter of yesterday's phone call. Promise to repeat it this afternoon. Your entire blueprint has taken under 15 minutes, yet protection and energy now run like a quiet current beneath every task ahead. But what if your life rhythm differs? Suppose you wake at 5 a.m. to pray, or at 8 a.m. after a late shift as a volunteer hotline listener. The blueprint flexes like bamboo. Shift each step forward or back. Keep the order, and success remains. If medication for Parkinson's must be taken within 10 minutes of waking, swallow it halfway through the hydration step, then continue. The water will speed absorption. If morning stiffness from rheumatoid arthritis delays standing, perform extra ankle and wrist circles while still lying down, then use a sturdy chair to rise safely. The goal is adaptation, not perfection. Caregivers and family members play priceless roles. A granddaughter who visits twice a week can pre-fill water bottles and check slipper soles. A professional caregiver can keep the medication chart updated and lay out breakfast ingredients the evening before. Sharing duties turns health into a team sport, easing pressure on any one person. Technology can help without overwhelming. A smart speaker set to a gentle chime at 6:35 can say, "Good morning, time to drink water and breathe." At 6:45, it might remind, "Let us stretch at the counter." If you dislike talking machines, place colorful sticky notes on door frames. Blue for water, yellow for stretch, pink for breakfast. Visual cues prevent slips when memory feels foggy. Tracking progress cements habits. Print a monthly calendar. Each morning color one small square green when all 7 steps are done, yellow if you missed one, red if illness required rest. Over time, green spreads like grass across the page, proving to your own eyes that change is real and stable. Behavior scientists note that visible streaks release dopamine in the brain, reinforcing the desire to continue. Some seniors worry about cost. In truth, the blueprint is free. The only optional investment is a pair of good slippers and perhaps a refillable bottle. Everything else relies on air, water, daylight, and your own intent, the most affordable healthcare plan on earth. Let us pause for stories, because stories make facts breathe. Margaret, 74, lived alone after knee replacement surgery. She feared the first steps each dawn and often clung to furniture. After 2 weeks of using our blueprint, her walker stood idle until after breakfast. She wrote, "I still use it outdoors, but inside my home, I glide." Jorge, 68, battling Parkinson's tremor, adapted the routine with his physiotherapist. Smaller marches, longer breaths. Falls dropped from 4 and 6 months to 0 the next quarter. Such stories are not miracles. They are biology plus habit, wrapped in patience. Beyond safety and energy lies a hidden bonus: better sleep. Exposure to morning light shuts down melatonin production quickly, allowing it to rise on schedule that evening. Balanced breakfast stabilizes blood sugar, preventing 3 a.m. wake-ups triggered by glucose dips. Gentle exercise lowers daily stress hormones, reducing restless legs at night. When morning rises strong, night returns the favor with deeper rest, completing a virtuous circle. Every plan faces roadblocks. Perhaps a cloudy week limits porch time. Use a bright indoor lamp aimed toward your face for 5 minutes as you eat. It will supply enough lux to nudge your body clock. Maybe knee pain flares during mini squats. Switch to seated leg extensions, straightening one leg at a time and holding 2 seconds. If a spouse dislikes early light, Choose a bedside lamp with a warm, narrow beam that spares their slumber. Obstacles invite creativity, not surrender. Over 21 days, the widely accepted horizon for habit consolidation, these steps weave into muscle memory. Mark that stretch on your calendar. On day 22, sit quietly and scan your body. Are mornings calmer, joints warmer, mind clearer? If yes, celebrate with something joyful. Fresh flowers on the table, a walk in the park, sharing your progress in the comments under this video. If no, examine which step slips most often and focus on that single link until it strengthens. At this point, some viewers ask for advanced mode. They want to slide in 5 minutes of Tai Chi or resistance band work. Excellent. Layer any safe movement you enjoy on top of step 6. Others ask about green smoothies at breakfast. Fine. Blend spinach, banana, and protein powder, but still chew a few nuts to trigger jaw receptors that tell the brain real food is coming. The blueprint is a skeleton. Flesh it out lovingly in ways that make your spirit sing. Let us touch briefly on medications once more, for they can trip even the diligent. Create a checklist card. Drug name, dose, with food or without, time of day, last refill date. Hand that card to every specialist you visit. Pharmacists report that patients who carry medication cards suffer fewer harmful interactions because the entire team sees the same clear map. Before we close, picture one more scene. It is 5 years from today. The calendar says you are older, yet neighbors whisper you seem lighter on your feet. Your doctor notes steadier blood pressure and hints at reducing a pill. Grandchildren visit and race up the path. You step forward to hug them without worrying about balance. Morning after morning, you keep the quiet promise you made to yourself. To rise slowly, drink deeply, move kindly, think gratefully. The blueprint became background music, hardly noticed yet always playing. If the vision feels enticing, begin tonight. Place a bottle on the nightstand, set slippers by the bed, jot a breakfast idea, stick a breathe note on the wardrobe. Tomorrow greet dawn not as an enemy that tears you from sleep, but as a gentle ally that hands you a lantern of time. Raise that lantern with steady hands, illuminate your path, and walk forward. Each new sunrise is a rare coin. Spend the first minutes wisely, and the rest of the day often pays you back with interest. Should this guide help you, press the like button so the YouTube algorithm shows it to another senior still stumbling in the dark. Subscribe and ring the bell for weekly science-backed tips on living well after 60. Most of all, share your victories below. Your single line, "I did the stretch and felt no dizziness," may be the lifeline another viewer needs to start. Together, we can weave a global quilt of safer, stronger sunrises. Until next time, remember, small hinges swing big doors, and tomorrow's sunrise is yours to